Welcome to the Christy Jones Show. This is your go-to podcast for living life to the fullest. I am a life and empowerment coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate. I am a woman passionate about helping others build a life that they truly desire. We'll talk about how to make the most out of every day, from setting meaningful goals to embracing the present moment. So join us as we explore the depths of living a life that is full of joy, purpose, and satisfaction. Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the Christy Jones Show. So this week I've got a little something different in store for us to talk about. And I've titled today's podcast, Wanderlust and Wellness, and why travel and adventure are key to us living a full life. So a couple of things. One is the word Wanderlust has been on my brain because I bought this book. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing what I'm putting in front of the camera right now. And it's titled Wanderlust. And it's a travel guide. And I'm just telling you, if you weren't thinking of going somewhere, after you go through this, you want to go everywhere. So a combination of this book and that I just got back last month from Costa Rica, which was really a once in a lifetime trip, and everything that we did there, it was amazing. And so with those two things combined, today I wanted to dive into and talk and explore the transformative power of travel and adventure and how that helps us live a really fulfilling life. So my name is Christy Jones. That's what we're going to be discussing today. And we are going to also tie in, how does travel and adventure, how does that tie in to our personal growth and to our happiness? So let me start by just leading the conversation and talking about some of the benefits of travel and of taking adventures. And when I'm saying travel and adventure, it doesn't have to be out of the country. These could be road trips. These could be your business trips that you're taking. These could be family vacations. These could be solo trips. Each of those is a form of adventure in its own unique way. So travel and adventure can really spur personal growth and some self-discovery. The positive impact of travel on our mental and physical health is huge. Travel and getting and seeing new things, being in new environments, exploring and expanding your world, and taking a break from your everyday routine really can have such positive. There are studies that have shown the benefits to our mental health when we do some sort of travel or a form of adventure. And one of the other benefits of how travel, what it gives us, is it helps you break out of that comfort zone and it helps you to develop new skills. How many times, if you followed me for any length of time on my social channels, I talk about this all the time. I am huge about getting out of your comfort zones. That's when we develop new skills. That's where we, really just fine tune the things that maybe need a little adjustment and just kind of, finish off the rough edges. So when we travel, even if you're on a business trip, like, maybe if you're just traveling right now or maybe you have a business trip lined up, you're traveling for work, or you're going to a conference, that in itself, you're going to maybe a city you haven't been before, getting around in an area that you're not used to, new places to stay, places to eat, new people, all of that is getting you out of your comfort zone. So there's the benefits are there, regardless if it's travel for fun and vacation or travel for more routine and work type of things. So anytime you're getting out of your comfort zone, you are developing a new skill. The second thing when it comes to travel and adventures is the mindset, the importance of having a growth mindset and embracing uncertainty. I mean, have you ever been on a trip of any kind, road trip on a plane, in the country, out of the country? Have you ever been on, it can even be maybe you're taking your kids on a soccer trip for the weekend, you're going to a soccer tournament. Have you ever had everything go exactly as you planned? Um, I definitely know for myself that most times in travel, there's so much uncertainty. There's so much uncertainty. Like plans change all the time, schedules change. I mean, if you have flown at all lately, you know that, I mean, flight schedules change, flights get canceled, you get rerouted. There's so many things. So the importance of having a growth mindset, if you are going to explore and travel and have adventure in your life, you have to embrace uncertainty. Got to be just, got to become really good friends with uncertainty. Another thing is strategies for overcoming fear and anxiety when embarking on a new adventure. I mean, this is a really important mindset to have when traveling. I'm thinking of a story right now where when we were in Costa Rica, I'll probably reference that trip a lot since I just got back from there. And I did things on that trip that I had never done before. And so it was really a growth trip for me for sure. But overcoming fear and anxiety when embarking on a new adventure. So just as an example, we were on this trip in Costa Rica and we we literally did everything. I wanted to do a lot. It's a cool country. I mean, I'm not just gonna like hang out and have cocktails by the pool the whole time, right? Because that gets boring. There's not enough adventure in that. So one day we had a day where we were zip lining, rock climbing, tubing down a river, whitewater rapids, swinging on ropes over a river. I did not know that part was included that day. So to get from point A to point B, so we could continue our zip lining. But there was a gentleman that there was a small group of us. So there was in our group, there were 6, and then there was another couple that was in our group that we had not met. And so I remember him distinctly because they were a husband and wife. And he was literally like, we were all kind of nervous, right? I had never zip lined. I had no idea what to expect. And so, but I'm like so excited. And I'm scared, but I'm not like terrified scared. I'm like excited scared. But this couple that we met, he was literally, he had a lot of anxiety and fear over the zip lining. His wife had done it before, and she really wanted them to do this together, and he really wanted to do it. He really wanted to step out of his comfort zone and overcome this fear. But to watch him work through that, and we were all encouraging him and cheering him on, and the whole thing, right? And it just, those are the things that, like, when you step out and you're traveling and you're looking for new experiences, you have to have strategies in place to overcome maybe some fears or anxieties that are going to come up in your travels. And I think of him when I was preparing for this podcast. I thought of him because that was a super challenging afternoon and for him. And I don't know if when it was all over, I don't know if he really enjoyed it. I don't think he did. I think he was just like, I overcame my fear. I did it and check the box. And I don't want to do that again. That seemed like the space he was at whenever we all finished. And his wife was really excited because, he went and did that with her and he made it. He survived. Most of the things that he was scared about was, definitely, between his 2 ears, right? And so he stepped out of that comfort zone and he was really coaching himself through that process to overcome those fears and anxieties. So anytime you're going to embark on a new adventure, know that sometimes fear and anxiety is going to creep up and you're very capable to work through that. Another benefit of being present and mindful during your travel experiences, to really, mentally soak it all in, like soak it in with all your senses. And when you have your mindset set in like a present moment type of mindset, you're going to get so much more out of the experience. So phase 3 that I want to talk about is planning for your adventure. How to plan a travel adventure that aligns with your personal values and interests. Now, you're definitely going to have, adventures and travel and like I said, maybe a business trip that you have to take that you really don't want to take, but it's one of those things that you have to do every year. Maybe it's a conference and you just aren't excited about it. Maybe you've done this trip over and over and over, so you're kind of struggling to find the freshness and the newness and what's exciting about it. But it's great when you can plan travel that aligns with your values and your interests. You're going to get so much more. It's going to be so much more enriching. So and this applies more to, like fun travel or extending a business trip, and maybe you're going somewhere you've never been before. And so put some thought into it, like going to this area, like what are some things that I want to incorporate while I'm on this trip that really tie in with some personal interests that I have. And then, of course, there's always prioritizing and budgeting for your travel experiences. Very important to, have some forethought on that, so you don't, end up overextending yourself on a trip. I'm a big believer in living within your means, and nothing's worse than taking a trip and then coming home and realizing that you just spent so much money that you're not prepared. It's not in your bank account to really fund that. So it's all on credit, and you're just going to, pay high interest that you just took a vacation and now you got to just pay that interest forever. And so when you are planning travel, I encourage you to have some strategies in place. Look at how you might pay for things, set some money aside, budget and prioritize what your expenses are going to be once you're at your destination, and stick to it and really stick to it. Because when you come home, you're going to feel so much better that you stuck to your plan of what you told yourself, that this is what I can afford to spend on this trip. So it just makes for a better experience coming home and settling back into your day-to-day and not having this looming, just heavy weighted feeling that I've got this huge credit card bill that's going to come in and I have no idea how I'm going to pay it. That's not a fun feeling, especially after you've had some great travel. Tips for creating meaningful and sustainable travel experience that benefit both you and the places that you visit. This means a little bit something different to each of us, but more and more you see when you're traveling ways that are more sustainable travel experiences and things that really benefit the environment to where you're going. A simple thing, you guys, super simple, the whole water bottle, plastic water bottles. Have your water container. I don't have one on my desk right here to show you right now, but travel with that. So you're not buying bottles and bottles and bottles of water when you're traveling. You can refill the one container. Maybe it's things at when you're at your destination, think of things that are going to be more beneficial to that environment. Number 4, segment 4 I want to talk about is bringing the travel benefits home with you. How to integrate the benefits of travel and adventure into your daily life. Because that's like a huge part of living a full life and having that fulfilled feeling, is that you get to explore and travel, take that road trip, take a couple days to just go roaming around, even within your own state or your own region. And then once that's over, how do you integrate that back into your day-to-day life? And a lot of times that can be, sometimes when you travel, you might try something new, you might eat a new food, You might have had more time in the morning, so you tried some yoga, or you went for an extra long walk. Maybe you're not used to going on walks, but on this trip, you decided you were going to get outside and start walking more. So when you come home, those things that you experienced in your travel, what are some positive benefits of that you can bring back into your daily practices? And also, another thing of the benefits of what you can bring home after travel are strategies for maintaining a sense of adventure. And I love this word, curiosity, even when you're not traveling. So we can't just look forward to the times that we get to go places, the times that we get to travel, the times that we get to leave our day-to-day routine. We can't just look forward to that, because those moments are, I mean, they're sometimes far and few between. And so you can't just live your life for those individual moments of travel. So bring the benefit of travel and adventure back home into your daily life by keeping your sense of adventure and staying curious. Have you ever noticed when you are on a trip that you are a little more curious because you are exploring? Maybe you haven't been there, maybe you have been there, but it's still like not your everyday. So when you are looking at something every day within your own home, you know how you just walk by it and you don't, it's like background. You don't even notice it anymore. But if you go to a new environment, you notice everything. Your senses are like so much more turned on. Have you ever noticed that? And so that really just fires up all these like pathways in the brain, and it really just sparks curiosity within the human spirit. So how can you bring those things back home with you in your day-to-day routine? And staying curious in life is so important to staying excited about life. So it saddens me when I see people that are just not excited about life anymore. And sometimes you see that as the years go by, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There is so much to be excited about every day. So don't let like the mundane kind of numb you out. Like, don't let it just make you, where you don't even really care. You're not that curious. You're like, whatever. Like, don't let that be you. It's going to be really hard to pull the fullness and the richness out of life if you end up settling in that space. And then how to use your travel experiences to inspire personal and professional growth. And there are so many things that once you wrap up a travel experience, it's like a new world's been opened up to you. And I believe this in all the business travel I've done, the personal travel I've done, the family travel I've done, the solo travel I've done. Solo travel, by the way, is an excellent way to have a lot of where you are able to bring a lot of personal growth back to your day-to-day life, because you have no other distractions. And so it more just kind of comes, you're just more present, because you're not, especially as a woman, you're taking care of a lot of people's needs. If you're in that mom mode, or if you're in that season of life, and you got a lot of people that you're juggling and taking care of their needs and responsibilities, and the responsibilities you have, and you want everyone to have a great vacation, a great trip. So sometimes we sacrifice our own personal growth, or things that we could have experienced during that trip, because we stay so busy taking care of everyone else. But so look at your travel experiences when you are on a business trip, or a solo trip, or a family trip, or a couples trip. And how can that, what is that inspiring within you for your personal and professional growth? There's so many things that you can bring back again with you to enhance your career, to enhance your leadership abilities, to enhance your creativity, to enhance your personal growth and your mindfulness and insight. So I hope this has been helpful for maybe the next little trip that you will be planning, little adventure. And then with, the summer season coming around, I know a lot of times with families, that's a time that, everyone's out of school. So there's a lot of activity that goes on in that over the summer months. So I hope that this podcast has deposited just a few little nuggets of information and helpful tips when it comes to travel and everything that brings to you in terms of your wellness and the richness that you can bring into your life. So thanks for tuning in today to the podcast that I have labeled Wanderlust and Wellness. And I hope that you have found today's episode inspiring, helpful in planning your next adventure and in living your full life. So don't forget to subscribe and tune in next week for more tips and strategies on how to live your life to the fullest. Until then, take care. Have a really good week.